first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting, "Pigs in a blanket," talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. That was an opinion of somebody.
Dumb people, liberal people.
They had a very bad original concept. And where it should have stopped is at the deal standpoint, when they thought about it. Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
8 months after his alleged meeting with the Burmese executives. So this Burmese, they say, pronounce it Burmese. A real beautiful company.
The battle of righteousness versus Satan. Versus Satan. Because these leftists are evil.
Not good. Believe me, not good.
Look, talk about education. I propose that what we take is those very poor schools, the Title I schools, triple the amount of money we spend from 15 to 45 billion a year. Give every single teacher a raise to the equal raise of getting out of the $60,000 level. Number two, make sure that we bring into the help the student, the teachers deal with the problem. We bring from home. The problems that come from home, we need from home. The problems that come from home, we have one school psychologist for every 1,500 kids in America today. It's crazy. It's crazy. 1,500 kids in America today. Crazy. The teachers are I'm married to a teacher. My deceased wife is a teacher. They have every problem coming to them. We have make sure they have every problem coming to them. We have make sure that every single child does in fact have school, not daycare, school, not day school, not does in fact have 3, 4, and 5-year-olds go to school, not daycare, 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 school. We bring social workers into homes of parents to help them deal with how to raise their children. Help? They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear words. A kid coming from a very poor school, a very poor background, make sure the television, make sure the television, make sure the television, make sure you have the school, not school, not sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at school, not daycare, school. Help? They don't know quite what to do. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. Make sure the television, help? They don't know quite what to do. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. Help? They don't know. Sure the phone. Make sure the kid. The phone. Sure the television. Make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear words. A kid coming from a very poor school, a very poor background, will hear 4 million words fewer spoken by the time they get there. There's so much. I'm.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
It's not that they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear words. A kid coming from a very
Hello users, and welcome to another episodic installation of Above It All, everybody. I personally am above you. I'm on the hierarchy of those. I'm just kidding. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the hot new introductory action. I love action, and I love introducing action. Alright, so today, I would like to announce officially I am beginning part 1 of Operation Grift. as you may know from reading the title. Part 1 of Operation Grift is where I beg people on each and every one of my videos to give me money so that I can not buy it for marijuana, but instead buy a new microphone and other equipment. So I will do a little bit more detail in that very shortly. Hello, Rur and Cloud. Isn't it like y'all have very similar avatars going on? I see some cyan, I see some green, I see some magenta in both of your avatars, profile pictures, whatever you want to call them. And I just want to say, if y'all are the same person on multiple accounts, I'm afraid that's not okay, but you know, it's fine, I guess. I mean, you know, whatever. OnlyFans, please. No, not right now. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when I run out of other bridges to cross. When they all collapse because Infrastructure Week never happened. Hello, but is it art? Well constructed username. I'm no people. Interesting. But yeah. So I'm just getting my windows situated. You're from Spain, Antifa? That's cool. How's it going in Spain? Alright, let's read the chat room. Hello, Unknown Story, first in the chat. Oh no. Dusty Scarlet, second in the chat. Ooh, Pfizer is third. Mike Harold is fourth. Is fifth. Cloud is sixth. Felipe is seventh. But Is It Art is eighth. I think. This is not chocolate milk. This is soy-infused coffee. It is black coffee constructed with vanilla-flavored coffee grounds, artificially flavored, mixed with soy milk. It's about 80-20 mixture. So that's what we're dealing with today. So I would like to officially begin. Okay, so Operation Grift, everybody. You know what it is. You're aware of what it is, I'm sure. So, on my little, whoa, buddy. Whoa. Hold the phone. My browser just broke. On my little website here. Don't mind the seed. This is why I need a production quality overhaul. Because my shit just broke live on stream. We're receiving technical difficulties out the wazoo. And you don't want to come out the wazoo. So, I'm officially beginning Operation Grift. I have decided that about all in all the production increases that I would like are probably going to cost around $300 to $400. I want to get a microphone, and that I want to get like a good one, and I never have to buy another one again for the rest of my life. That's kind of my goal. I want to use this microphone that I'm about to buy in the next coming months. I want to use this until I'm like 70 years old. That's the goal. Because seriously, is there really going to be another breakthrough in audio technology? Is there really... Oh no, in 2067, there's going to be a new kind... No, I want this microphone that I'm going to spend money on to be the best possible microphone that I could possibly ever acquire, and then also utilize it for the rest of my life. So that's the goal. And from looking at stuff, I've decided around $300 to $400 is going to be the best bet. So I'm officially launching Operation Grift. If you want to give me money, I would prefer you do it on PayPal so that I can utilize the money instantaneously. And that way, maybe, just throwing this out there, maybe if I received a good enough amount of money from this time till next week, I could possibly buy something on sale, because there's like this big thing going on. I don't know. But anyway, I'm a really bad salesperson. Operation Grift, also known as Back on Top, whatever you want to call it, code name, Grift, I don't know. I want you to give me money, and I will be as transparent as humanly possible. I will tell you exactly what I spend this money on. And if you want to hold me accountable and say that I stole money and didn't spend it on the microphone as promised, then you can do so. And in actuality, here's a good idea. We should do this, except it should be part of the grift. So someone exposes me right? They're going to expose me. I probably shouldn't be outlining this in the introductory video, but someone's going to expose me. And then you know how like on Twitter, right, whenever someone calls someone out, that usually gets thousands of retweets. Oh shit, a call out post. So what we're going to do is one lucky person is going to get to make a call out post, and we're going to try to make it go viral that I'm stealing money from my fan base, and then people can investigate into whether or not I'm actually stealing money, and they will find that I'm fully transparent, and that can be a way to actually get more and more exposure. So I'm just throwing this out there. That's the idea. Operation Grift officially, you know, it's in effect. It's in effect. We're here, and you know, presumably we're queer, because I don't know why straight people would watch this fucking bullshit. But we're gonna figure this out. So, how's everyone doing? Hello, JL. I want to make the drama thread. All right, Felipe. Drama thread indeed. Hello, Bodan. What's poppin'? Stop talking and say hello. Please be nice to me. I am trying my best. Okay. I was paid $2 yesterday doing someone's homework. That's all I have on my name. I will take that $2. I will utilize that $2, and I will pay shipping on a microphone with that $2. So, there you go. But yeah. That's Operation Grift. Does anyone have any questions? I might do a rerun of this at the end. That's the most transparent grift I've ever heard of. Well, I appreciate that. Again, I'm all about transparency. We will claim this vid is a deep fake. I mean, that's fine with me. Which microphone is good for streaming? I have a couple that people have recommended to me. I've got like 5. You know, most of them around the 200 range for just a microphone. But then I need a stand. You know, I need all that kind of shit. So there's a lot of bullshit. Is there a website or link? Yes. Speed.dog. Actually, the link is right. See my finger. Hold up. I got to figure this out myself. Okay. So it's right here. The link is right here, but I will post it in the chat. Speed.dog/backontop. There you go. And then you can, if you want to give me money on Super Chat, that's cool too. But the thing is, you have to remember, for Super Chat, I don't get the money for 2 months. And also, YouTube takes like a 30% cut of it. So, I'm just throwing that out there. 30% cut, and I don't get it for several months. And then, you know, versus PayPal, where it's like, I think you can do like a friends and family thing. I'm not sure. But either way, the service fee, if there is a service fee, is usually like around 2%. So, be sure to tell us your choice. Yes, I will update the webpage with everything that I purchase. So, you'll know exactly what I've got on this page. Everything will be documented, and it will be there until I forget to renew the webpage in 6 years from now, because that's how much I've got paid up right now. So, yeah, if anyone has questions, let me know. I might do a rerun of this segment at the end of the stream when more people are here. I'm not sure, but I thought that was pretty good. I thought I did a decent job. And, yeah, so. Another thing I will say is I will be streaming a lot over the next week. I know I've only been doing Above It All, and I'm sorry for that, and Sunday Run Day. Those are the current, like, the only things that I'm doing are Above It All and Sunday Run Day. And, I'm going to be doing the Cyber Monday extravaganza, numero 4, I believe. Now, for those of you that don't know, my username that I selected when I was 14 years old for my YouTube channel is Cyberdemon, because I like Doom. Now, you may know this. This is some interesting trivia. My favorite Doom monster is not even the Cyberdemon. My favorite Doom monster is the Revenant. But I didn't realize that until I was, like, 19, So when I was 14, I created the username Cyberdemon because I love Doom and I thought that was cool. And then, all of a sudden, wouldn't you know, there's a holiday, a fake one, called Cyber Monday, where people spend their hard-earned money on a bunch of bullshit on the internet. And I decided 4 years, I guess, yeah, 4 years. I decided 4 years ago, or maybe it was 5 years ago. No, I don't know. I decided, 4 years ago. I decided 4 years ago that I would do a fun little event on Cyber Monday, because my username had Cyber. It's Cyber Monday. It's basically my Monday. Like, I own it. I'm the sole proprietor or whatever the fucking. I own Cyber Monday. Anyway, so my point is, I'm going to be doing a lot of streaming. I'm thinking of starting on Friday. I'm thinking of starting on Friday. And when I stream, I'm going to be doing a lot of video game speedruns. Now, obviously, there's a lot of people that watch my political show that don't like video games. Now, if you like this show, I can assure you, you like my video game streams, because it's literally the same thing, except you know how like instead of like Nancy Pelosi clapping, right? You're just gonna see moving shit. That's it. That's the only difference. If you can't handle that, then I'm sorry, you've got a low IQ. I really, I hate to say this, but
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
You just come on. Anyway, so that's my introduction. There you go. I'm gonna be doing a lot of stuff over the next week, so things are getting good. And give me money. If you don't give me money, I'll be very upset. And if you do give me money, I will not thank you nearly as much as I should. But know that you are a good person nonetheless. So, there you go. Also, if you do give me money, I appreciate it. But unless you tell me, I'm probably just going to check at the end of every stream, right? So unless you want to say, hey, I just gave you, I'll update the little ticker at the end of every stream. So I'm just throwing that out there. Anyway, and I appreciate, of course, this goes without saying, I appreciate if anyone wants to support this program. I'm going to be doing a lot of things in 2021. I've got this is interesting. So this is going to be like some inspirational cringe for you. So I lived a majority of my, not even, I would say I lived like 80% of my conscious life, maybe 90% of my conscious life being depressed and wanting to kill myself. And then 2020 was like, yo, let's not do that. So now I'm no longer depressed as of 2020. I would say I officially kicked the depression in March or April. And I made a lot of very important life choices in March and April, and I've spoken about this a little bit. And part of those life choices have led me to actually planning what I want to do in the year 2021. I know, planning a whole year ahead of time, I would have never even thought that was possible, right? So the more quickly, or not, I guess time isn't of the essence, but the more I actually get this little thing, whatever's going on here, right? Whatever this is, the more I get, I'm trying to do this as a frame. Yeah, there we go. Reminds me of Ed, Ed, and Eddie. Anyway, the more I get that, I don't know, I'm a little rambly, I'm sorry. In order, the more easily I will be able to do those 2021 plans. But again, I've got a lot of 21, jeez. Let me drink some more coffee to balance that out. I've got a lot of 2021 plans, that will involve not just my embarrassingly pathetic YouTube career, but it will also encompass things that are not included in my extremely embarrassing and pathetic YouTube career. So, there you go. That's it. That's my introductory duction. I am ducking, and I can't figure out a way to make that a little bit more punny. So, let's move on to actual news. Actual news and substance. Can you imagine? Right? Can you imagine an actual human being, right, giving you news and substance? What? I thought this stream was just going to be me talking about myself all day. Well, unfortunately, that's not the case. So, Parler, the social media Gab 2.0 thing, Parler has been hacked, everybody. And this is, I got sent this Twitter thread, and this is the most hilarious fucking Twitter thread I've ever seen in my goddamn life. It's so good. Okay, so, couple days ago, I was like, should I make a Parler account? It might be funny. When Gab was a thing, I made a Gab account back in the day, and posted my videos on Gab, and people got extremely fucking upset. I remember, okay, this is not even, so for those of you that don't know, let me give you this. Parler is a right-wing social media website that basically, the grift is, if you get censored on Twitter, you can come here, free speech. Now, what another website did, called Gab, is they did that same thing, but about 3 years ago. And so I went on Gab, I think I want to say in 2018, I went on Gab, I made up an account, and I posted one thing. I posted, hi, I am a transgender anti-fascist activist. I would love to have conversations with anyone that is willing to debate me on any topic, right? And I shit you not, I'm not even joking. That one Gab post got, and again, this is not joking, I'm not trying to be pathologically hyperbolic here. I got over 10,000 replies, right? For years to come, every once in a while I would check my Gab account. I would still get replies on that post. I don't know the way Gab filters posts. I don't know how people see the post. I have no idea. But I'm not even joking. I hit over like 10,000 replies on that bullshit. I didn't read almost all of them. I stopped at like the 4th reply because it was all like neo-Nazis saying that they want to like fuck me until they kill me or something. Really weird stuff, right? So Parler is basically Gab 2.0. And Parler, they expanded their grift a little bit. And they decided, you know what? Twitter is censoring you. You got nowhere to go. You're going to go on Gab? Those guys are weird. So you come on Parler, and then you can, I don't know, give us your social security number. So this thread is really funny. So I'm just going to read this thread, because it's just really funny. So definitely follow this individual. Parler requires users to give their social security numbers, and now they've been hacked. This is the biggest fucking grift I've ever seen. I knew these people were stupid, but my god, they gave their social security number because Twitter mods were meanies to them. Now imagine, right? Imagine giving your social security number to a Twitter clone, right? To be clear, the sign-up did not require the social security number to access certain functions of the site, though to access certain functions of the site it did. It's just so fucking insane. Now, there's been a lot of fun stuff on Twitter. People have been combing through these Parler hacks, making fun of right-wing passwords like Big Trucker, like 59 is someone's password, like that's embarrassing, right? You think when you type in a password, oh, this is my password, no one's ever going to see my password, and then someone sees it, it's like Big Trucker 59, right? Really weird stuff. But again, it was all made on a WordPress system. Now, my website's on WordPress, but my website also doesn't ask you for a social security number. So that's like, a really interesting difference there. So just throwing that out there. Every verified user had to turn over their social security number and driver's license to get verified. This is like a massive criminal enterprise for fraud. How on earth did they agree to this shit? This is literally the 21st century version of Tom Sawyer making that kid paint the fence for free. Again, I'm like right-wingers, they're the dullardest of the dullards, I swear to God, right? These people are ridiculous motherfuckers, right? And again, you can go through it. I'm probably going to be giving more updates about the Parler stuff, but I just thought that was really funny. I'm going to link this thread, and you can read it on your own time if you'd like. But it's just really funny. Just a lot of just really good details. And again, it's bizarre to me. Like, imagine Twitter censored your post because, you called a transgender person by the wrong pronouns. Destroyed, right? Twitter censored you. You have been compelled to speak offline. And then you find this Parler site, and you're like, okay, well, I want to give my opinions on things. And then you're like, damn, I want to get a verified user check so that I can stick it to the blue check on Twitter because I'm verified. Dude, I just imagine the brain of the human that gives their social security number to fucking Parler. I won't imagine that brain because it makes me want to kill myself. Oh no. Anyway, hopefully y'all are enjoying today's program. Mr. Cool Ice, I chucked you a buck. Please don't dox me. Thank you for chucking a buck. I love when people chuck me bucks. Chuck a buck! So many good catchphrases that I've come up with over the last couple years for sure. Alright, hello Aunt Tifa. Hello Witch Shunt, by the way. Hello, Mr. Cool Ice. Hello, Drilo Stams. I don't. What is a Drilo? Is that just one of those you just created a username and then that's it? What is a Drilo Stam? Is that a thing? Never heard that before. I wish, when I was 14 years old, instead of coming up with, oh, I'm going to name myself after an enemy from a game I like playing, instead of having that brain genius idea, I wish I came up with my own unique word, like Drilo Stams. That's a cool username. That's high IQ stuff right there. You just make up a fucking word that sounds pretty cool, right? It's got multiple syllables. Drilo Stams, right? I don't know. It's 3 syllable. I have no idea. Shut up, Drilo Stams. You're fucking ruining it by telling me what this is from. You're ruining it. I just complimented you. I'm rescinding my complimentation. It's over. You're banned from the stream. So, with that being said, what else should I do? Okay. So this is something that I saw. This is something I saw this, right? This is, when I see things, I see them. And so this is something that I saw. This is Joseph Robinette Biden 2. Because again, unfortunately, right, Joseph Robinette Biden 1, the programming was a little messed up. So we had to update to a new version, Joseph Robinette Biden 2. And this new version, it's got some glitches that carry over from the first version, but it is the most updated version of Joseph Robinette Biden. So Joseph Robinette Biden 2 is telling us that, maybe we will have a Republican in the cabinet. Let's watch.
Have you considered
as the spectrum of the Democratic Party?
Have you considered, for the sake of national unity, selecting or nominating a Republican, someone who voted for President Trump?
Yes, and we still have a lot more appointments to make. I want this country to be united. The purpose of our administration is, once again, united. We can't keep this virulent political dialogue going. It has to end.
Should we expect an announcement?
No.
Not ever or not soon?
No, not soon.
Yo, Joe Biden is so fucking awkward, dude. This guy is so awkward. For those of you that weren't here, I played this classic in today's intro.
It's not that they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear words.
So this is like Joe Biden's bringing it back. Not ever or not soon. I just thought it was so funny. Should we expect an announcement? No. I'm just going to nominate this Republican to the cabinet in February. I'm just going to nominate them. No announcement. I'm never going to announce
this
it.
Virulent political dialogue going. It has to end.
Should we expect an announcement?
No.
Not ever or not
it's
soon?
Just so awkward. It's so awkward.
Okay. What about former rivals from your own party, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren? Have you talked to them about cabinet?
Can we please, and I know I have no fucking, jurisdiction on what the fuck Lester Holt's doing, but can we please stop putting Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren in the same fucking sentence? Like, anybody that actually paid any attention at all during the primary process knows that they are as far away as possible, right? Elizabeth Warren is a disgusting, conniving, fucking lying capitalist fucking narcissist. Bernie Sanders, maybe a couple of those things, but at least he actually backs Medicare for all. At least he wants to end fucking foreign wars, right? So, Elizabeth Warren doesn't want to do anything about that. Elizabeth Warren's, one of her chief things during the primary was, we're going to use our military to combat climate change, right? We're going to bomb and drone strike countries that won't reduce their carbon emissions. Like, what the fuck kind of strategy? Please stop using them in the same sentence. They're not even remotely similar. I know. I'm speaking to the choir here, but Jesus Christ.
Have you talked to them about cabinet positions?
Well, I've talked to them. Look, as I said, we already have significant representation among progressives in our administration. But
now, I just want to say, as far as I'm aware, and I could be mistaken here. I haven't followed the Biden transition as closely as other people have, but I have seen zero progressives. I have seen zero leftists as part of the transition process. Part of any potential future cabinet roles. I have not seen a single progressive, anyone with even a critique of capitalism, like someone who's ever thought, maybe capitalism isn't 100% perfect. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not even joking here when I say that. Maybe I missed one or something, or maybe this is they're already down the pike. I don't know, but haven't seen it yet. So
there's nothing really off the table, but one thing is really critical. Taking someone out of the Senate, taking someone out of the House, particularly a person of consequence, is a really difficult decision that would have to be made. I have a very ambitious, very progressive agenda, and it's going to...
I just want to say, I do agree with Joe Biden here, and I really do think that the conversation being framed about whether or not Bernie Sanders becomes labor secretary or whatever the fuck, I really think that this is I personally, I could be swayed on this. I'm not, I'm whatever, but I would rather have Bernie Sanders in the Senate and get someone who's not in government, right? Who's on Bernie's payroll or agenda, connected to the campaign, that kind of situation. I would rather have someone like that be the head of labor instead of Bernie, removing him from the Senate and creating that kind of vacuum. Also, if Bernie does go into the Joe Biden administration, he's not going to be able to be as aggressive against the Biden administration. So again, now that Joe Biden has been elected president, Bernie Sanders has actually started very much so heavily criticizing him. and I appreciate that. And he cannot do that within the Biden administration. So I'd rather have someone Bernie adjacent, but that is a good point.
It's a very progressive agenda, and it's going to take really strong leaders in the House and Senate to get it done.
The head of the GSA yesterday.
Anyway, so the big headline here is earlier when Joe Biden was like, yeah, sure, we'll have a Republican. Now, I just want to say this unequivocally. No, we did not vote for Republicans to be in the executive branch. That's not what happened, okay? That didn't occur, right? Nobody did that, all right? 0% of the human population, right, wants Republicans in the executive branch. I'm sorry. That, that's scientific data. Prove me wrong. Facts don't care about your feelings. All right. So the idea, right, that we're going to vote for Democrats and get Republicans, it's weird. Now, again, you can, make the judgment that Joe Biden is a Republican in Democrat clothing. I can agree with that, actually. But my point is, we voted for people with the D next to their name, motherfucker. And I'm not talking about dick. I'm talking about Democrat, okay? The idea that you're going to reward someone like John Kasich, right? Someone who enabled Trump, right? And let Trump exist, didn't drop out, didn't coalesce behind someone like Ted Cruz or something, right? Enabled the Trump presidency. They're going to be rewarded for that? No, right? And anyone else on the top of this guy's list for Republican picks, I'm sorry, Mitt Romney no, fuck off, dude. This shit is ridiculous, okay? The way to beat Republicans is not by unifying with them, it's by beating them in the game. They need to be destroyed. The Republican Party must be eradicated, and I do think that Trump running in 2024 again will help facilitate that. However, if Biden's going to be giving establishment Republicans some executive slots, that actually, now that I think about that might actually accelerate the split in the Republican Party. Like, if you have someone like Mitt Romney join the Biden administration or John Kasich join the Biden administration, the fucking base of the Republican Party will be so fucking mad about that. Actually, you know what? All right, let's do it, Joe. Let's do it. I'm endorsing this plan of action. There you go. Change my mind? Change my mind. There you go. See? Let's get it? Hell yeah.
The good news is, for me, I'm here. The bad news for you is, I'm coming back.
I love that scream in the background. Look, whoever that person is, that it's like Biden's like, I'm coming back, and their first reaction is, woo! Like, God bless their soul, seriously and honestly. God bless their soul. So yeah, speaking of souls that are not being blessed, let's do this one. Okay, so I caught wind of this. Dianne Feinstein? Feinstein. Is it Feinstein or Feinstein? I don't know. I've never listened to anyone else pronounce her name because I don't care. Feinstein departure from the top post sets stage for judiciary fight. Judiciary? Judiciary. That's such a weird word to pronounce. Judiciary? Makes me think like I'm going to like a fucking bar mitzvah or something. Anyway, so Senator Dianne Feinstein's decision this week to step down as the top Democrat in the Judiciary Committee is sparking a fight over the future of the panel, with many Democrats and outside groups, this is coming from the Hill, obviously, by the way, and outside groups pushing for a more aggressive approach toward Republicans. Now, this is something that if you watched any of the Amy Coney Barrett hearings, jeez, like, wow. Like, you have these preconceived notions of how bad Democrats are, and they're probably all correct. And then you watch the Amy Coney Barrett hearing, and you're like, wow, they far exceeded my expectations. And who's they in this instance, right? This isn't some ambiguous individual. This is Dianne fucking Feinstein hugging Lindsey Graham during a fucking pandemic, right? Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ, right? This bitch, and I said this before and I'll say it again, Dianne Feinstein, this bitch, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, honestly, Chuck Schumer, you know what, I'll give him a pass. He's, I'll talk more about Chuck Schumer later, but Nancy Pelosi, Dianne Feinstein, right, all these, like, old leaders, right, Steny Hoyer, get rid of them. Get rid of them. We don't need them. Now, Chuck Schumer came out in favor of legalizing marijuana recently, right? Unequivocally in favor of not just decriminalization, but legalization. So, you know what? Chuck Schumer's back in my good graces. I still hate that guy, right? But I don't want to kick him out just yet, right? We can use him like a sponge, like get the water out and then throw him in the trash. But So, Feinstein's departure came after weeks of pressure from Democratic colleagues and others who want a new strategy to counter Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, particularly after President Trump successfully appointed his third Supreme Court justice. One person familiar with the efforts to oust Feinstein as the ranking member of the Judiciary panel said Senate Minority Leader Charles Schumer. Fucking Charles. Who the hell writes Charles Schumer? Oh, yes, my dear friend Charles. Fucking Charles? I can't, dude. I can't. Who wrote this article? Alexander Bolton? Fucking Charles. Imagine actually, like, calling him Charles Schumer. Fucking Charles. Might as well call him Charlie. Charlie Schumer. Like, Jesus Christ, you know? God damn it. Anyway. Had multiple conversations with Feinstein and people around her about her role in the committee after groups on the left, criticized how she handled Justice Amy Coney Barrett's confirmation hearings. The Amy Coney Barrett hearings, dude, the bitch is in a literal, like, paranormal activity cult. Dude, I'm not even joking. She, like, literally signed a fucking oath that fucking declared that her life is going to be in service of her husband. Like, what the fuck? Like, Brett Kavanaugh was just a frat boy who likes beer. This bitch is like out of a horror film. How the hell was fucking Brett Kavanaugh's fucking confirmation such a huge deal and Amy Coney Barrett's just happened and everyone just forgot about it? Dude, this bitch is literally a part of a cult. It's strange. Not only is she a Republican, but she's even going further. She pledged loyalty to her husband for life. It's bizarre stuff. Really weird. And somehow, I'm gonna hug the opposition. Just give everyone a nice hug. Fuck off. Two progressive groups, NARAL, Pro-Choice America, and Demand Justice, called for her to step down as the senior Democrat in the Judiciary Committee immediately after Barrett's confirmation hearing ended. NARAL, Pro-Choice America, and Feinstein failed to make clear how unprecedented, shameful, and wrong. Feinstein failed to make clear how unprecedented, shameful, and wrong the confirmation process was after Republicans raced to seat Barrett on the high court before November 3rd election, a sharp contrast from their refusal to hold a hearing for Judge Merrick Garland in 2016. How long was that? That was like fucking like over a year, I think, that they had that empty seat in 2016. I don't know. That's around when I got into politics. I don't remember that as well as I should. But Feinstein put an end to the drama Monday by announcing she would not seek to serve as the chairwoman or the ranking member of the Judiciary Committee in 2021, opening the door for a more junior member to head the committee. The 87-year-old California lawmaker, I'm so Freudian slip there, the lawmaker, who won re-election in 2018, said she wants to devote her energy to responding to the damage caused by the drought and wildfire in her state. Now, is that like the same way when the Sunrise Movement were protesting in her office and she told them all to get jobs? And she said that, you're 16 years old, you can't even vote for me, go fuck off. Remember that video? Look that up. There's a viral video of Sunrise Movement climate change activists like asking, hey, can you actually believe in climate change? And Dianne Feinstein was like, how old are you, young woman? Are you under the age of 18? You can't even vote for me. Why? You should get out of my office right now. That was like it was ridiculous fucking garbage. And this bit, I must take some time away from the Judiciary Committee to focus on the things that I have not even cared about ever in my life before. Like, dude, fuck off. Like, seriously, I hate Dianne Feinstein. How the fuck is California, right? Oh, California, so lefty, liberal California. How the fuck are their senators Kamala Harris and Dianne fucking Feinstein? Like, are you kidding me? What the fuck? Right? Jesus. I'm sorry, but I just, One aide said Feinstein's grip on the panel's leadership took a hit from the double whammy of the embrace of Lindsey Graham combined with her performance during the whole hearing. You can read this whole article if you want. I'm honestly, I don't have the attention span for that. But fuck Dianne Feinstein. I hate her. I hate all of this fucking old guard. Like, if you're over the age of 80, like, honestly, if you're over the age of 60 and you're not Bernie Sanders, get the fuck out. Like, I'm sorry. Like, anyone who's over the age of 50, anyone over the age of 50 and you're not Bernie Sanders, get the fuck out of government. Never come back. Go play pinball in your fucking makeshift basement arcade, right? Just go fuck off already. You are a damaging aspect on our politics, and you need to be dismantled. You should not have power. You should not have had power to begin with, but we can't go back in time. What we can do is we can try our best to mitigate the failures and the disasters of the mistakes that our past has created, and Diane fucking motherfucking Feinstein is one of those big-ass mistakes. What were they thinking? Seriously? Like, I feel like I need to get the fucking like AVGN sound drop of what were they thinking. That would get a lot of playtime when we're talking about the Democratic motherfucking Party. I swear, dude. Like, these people are nuts. They're fucking crazy. Ugh, but I'm glad she's gone. I'm like, you know, pretty good. Pretty good. Hugh Jorgen. Tim Pool says you're full of shit. Parler wasn't hacked. I mean, okay, that's fine. If Parler wasn't actually hacked and all the social security numbers are fake, okay, that's good for them. Like, that's fine with me. All right, I don't mind. Hello, Jeffrey. What is pop-a-loppin', y'all? What's going on? How's everyone feeling? I feel like this is some high-energy stuff right now. I'm delivering some very high-energy stuff. You know, like, this is some high-energy stuff. This is some pretty powerful soy-based coffee. Woo! All right. Let's go. What else do we got? Okay, so I got a few more things here. All right. Okay, so I did that. This is me. I'm trying to sound intelligent, right? Like, I'm looking at my fucking browser tabs. Right, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna move that one over there. I'm gonna do this. Like, you don't know what I'm doing. I'm clicking on a browser you can't see, and I'm narrating it. Like, what? Like, what? How full of shit am I? But I'm pretty full of shit. I haven't fucking defecated in like 12 hours or something, so it's building up back there. Anyway, so unknown story. Mike Gravel is a cool old person. He's not in government though. That's my thing. It's like, he's pretty cool, but he's not in government. So he's fine. Like, I have no critique of him. My only critique of Mike Gravel is what the fuck was going on with that Tulsi Gabbard thing? Jesus Christ. Remember when Mike Gravel was like, I don't want to endorse Bernie Sanders, I'm going to endorse Tulsi Gabbard. And then the fucking commie teens, I forget their names, but the Gravel teens, you know, the ones that did the PragerU Institute, like, you know, combating. They were like, dude, shut the fuck up about Tulsi Gabbard. You got to endorse Bernie. That's the only option. What are you doing? And then Mike Gravel was like, all right, let's compromise. I'll endorse both of them, just like the New York Times. Like, I'm sorry. That's a blemish. That's a blemish on Mike Gravel's record, as far as I'm concerned. Other than that, pretty good. But what the fuck was going on there? there was some bullshit going on there. I'm just saying. I'm throwing that out there. Alrighty, okay. Yes, alright. So, this is some local news. In North Carolina Middle School, a student is in custody because they shot at another student. Now, this is a middle school. This is not a high school. This is not a college. These are like fucking 12-year-olds playing with guns. Alright. So there's not that many details, but I want to, you know, pontificate on this because that's what I do. A 12-year-old student is in custody after a 12-year-old girl, again, 12-year-old. These people are 12 they're not 15, they're not 19, they are 12 years old. These are kids. These are kids, right? Playing with guns in school. What the fuck, right? A 12-year-old student is in custody after a 12-year-old girl was shot Tuesday morning at a North Carolina middle school, the school district says. The student was wounded in the leg, according to police. I'm assuming the shooter may have been listening to Joe Biden. Hendersonville Police Chief Bill Hollingshead said. That's an unfortunate username. Hollingshead. Like, whenever you're quoted in an article, people are going to feel like they've made a mistake. Hollingshead said. Right? That's weird. That's strange stuff. But anyway, said they received, and also they're a cop, so fuck them. Said they received a call about the incident at approximately 7:45 a.m. I guess this is like a kid didn't want to go to gym class or something, so they just decided to shoot their classmate in the leg. And this is why guns are dumb. the shooting happened in the gym where approximately 35 students were at the time. The student was taken into custody immediately after a single shot was fired. He said the alleged shooter put his hands on his head immediately after the shooting. It was a real firearm, Hollingshead said. Again, Hollingshead said, like, Jesus Christ, am I fucking singing a song? And is that like a fucking echo, like, or something? Backup vocals? I don't know what's going on here. Hollingshead said in response to rumors on social media that the weapon was not real. Henderson County Schools spokesperson Molly McGowan Gorsuch said an incident involving a firearm on the campus happened. An incident involving a firearm? Dude, can you speak like a normal person? Say, yeah, one of our kids shot another kid. That an incident involving a firearm? Please shut the fuck up. Happened Tuesday morning, she said. A student discharged a firearm, wounding another student. The juvenile suspect was immediately detained by a school administrator, McGowan Gorsuch said. The firearm and the student suspect are in custody of the Hendersonville Police Department, and the investigation is continuing, she said. So this may be updated. This happened yesterday. Yeah, so this is some stuff that happens, and I wanted to talk about this because guns are dumb. They're dumb bullshit, and the people that have guns are more often than not dumb. Now, you may not know this. I am pro-gun, but being pro-gun means you need to be pro-responsibility. If you have a gun and your kid is able to acquire this gun, you are not a responsible gun owner. Now, again, this is in North Carolina, a state where I go to the grocery store and I see people in cowboy hats and Trump hats with fucking guns strapped to their fucking waist. It's embarrassing and it's cringy, okay? If you are a parent and you have guns in your home, they must be responsible for those guns. If you let your child bring a gun to school, I'm sorry, you deserve to go to prison. You need to actually know what the fuck you're doing if you have a gun. And this is why the right in America is so ridiculous. And this is why I suggest that left-wingers arm themselves. If you're a left-winger, right, chances are you've got an IQ that's at least above 40, unlike the conservative counterparts, right? So you should know how to utilize that gun. You should go to firearm training. You should have it safe and secure, especially if you have children. That is required, okay? If you have a gun and you are not responsible about that gun, you are a garbage human being and you should not have that gun. Again, the idea that a child is able to bring a gun to school, and now it could be that, I don't know, maybe the kid got the gun from another kid. It's possible, right, that other people, besides the parents are maybe responsible here. But let's be honest. A 12-year-old bringing a gun to school, there's like a 99% chance that it came from that kid's parents. And if that parent, if those parents, right, don't have their guns securely and safely locked, they should be going to prison. They should. And there's no ifs, there's no ands, there's no buts, okay? And as much as I love buts, there are none here, okay? If you have a gun, and I know I'm being a little bit redundant, you should know how to use it. 12-year-olds. Again, 12-year-olds. These kids, they're 12. They're kids, right? They don't know what the fuck guns are, right? They play like fucking video games and think guns are toys, dude. They're kids. They're fucking kids. It's one thing to teach your kid about responsible gun ownership, but that does not happen, and that does not result in a kid bringing a gun to school. Now, my personal opinions on teaching a kid maybe the age of 12 how to use guns or training them in guns, I think it's probably a good thing. If you are a parent and you have guns in the house, the kid needs to know as soon as possible what the fuck a gun is, what it's capable of doing, how to use it, and then also that they're never allowed to use it because they live with their parents. However, again, just teaching a child what guns are is extremely important. But most people don't do that. They just have guns in their house, kids get them, and then they end up shooting people with them. And it's fucking ridiculous, okay? And 9 times out of 10, you look at these motherfuckers, and they're just like crazy gun nuts. They just have 15 guns in their kitchen cupboard. They don't have them secured. They're all loaded. And next thing you know, the kid goes to school and shoots someone. And that's my problem with guns. They should have never been invented. You know what? This is my opinion on guns.
And where it should have stopped is at the deal standpoint, when they thought about it.
You know what? And then also,
bad deal, should have never been thought of.
That's guns, in my opinion. But we got guns, right? And if right-wing crazy people are going to be giving their guns to children, right, and bringing them into middle schools, I think it is responsible and it is incumbent upon everyone with an IQ above 12 that they, if they live in a state like North Carolina, should probably be well associated, well trained with firearms. I personally agree with that. Because again, if we're going to have a Second Amendment, if we're going to have guns, we should have guns be in the hands of people that are responsible and not just in the hands of people that are irresponsible. Because this is how fucking school shootings happen. If this kid was slightly more crazed, slightly more, like, all it took was just a little bit more of a crazy strain in their brain, and they could have committed a mass shooting, right? Now this kid surrendered as soon as they shot another kid. Thank fucking God, right? But the idea that a gun is capable of getting into middle schools. Now, what the fuck is going on with these schools that they can't make sure that children, kids, they can't make sure the kids are not bringing guns in the school? What? What the fuck? Like, we've had 20 years of school shootings and you don't have proper safeguards for fucking kids bringing guns into school? Are you kidding me? What the fuck is going on there? I think the leadership of this school needs to be seriously looked at, thoroughly looked at, because this is some bullshit. That's my opinion. Thank you. And also, of course, we got Galaxy Brains in the fucking chat room. You're leftists, so that means you hate guns. Dude, did you not listen to the fucking shit I was saying, Glenn, Aesthetic Media? I literally just said, responsible gun ownership is knowing how to use guns, being responsible with them. If you have a family, you should not have loaded guns in the reach of children. The Second Amendment is under siege. Shall not be infringed. So you think 12-year-olds should bring guns to school? What? Seriously, what the fuck is wrong with you, Aesthetic Medic? You are the reason why Democrats are wanting to restrict guns. Because of dumb motherfuckers like you that think that you should teach children to bring guns to middle schools. Shall not be infringed. Fuck off, okay? If someone is under the age of 13, they should not have a fucking gun anywhere within grasp of them. Oh, I want to teach my 4-year-old to use a gun because the Second Amendment says that the right shall not be infringed. Get the fuck out of my stream, you dumb motherfucker, alright? So many people have died because of your stupid fucking dumb cringe religion. Guns are not toys. They are weapons that kill people, dude. You don't treat guns like you're like talking about a toy truck at Toys R Us. Fucking moron. Fucking moron. Like, again, like, these people are convinced the left hates guns. Like, that's what's so weird about these people in the fucking chat. Oh, the left just talked about how they're pro-gun for 10 minutes straight. That must mean they hate guns. They don't want 12-year-olds to shoot each other in middle schools? Typical leftist. Wanting gun control. These aren't real people, dude. These have to be Russian bots. Like, I swear to God. There is no way you can convince me that these motherfuckers aren't Russian bots. Like I'm delivering a story about how 12-year-olds are shooting each other, and this guy's response is, well, the left wants to make it so that 12-year-olds can't shoot each other. Ha ha. What? Like, what, dude? What?
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
It's, I swear to God, dude, Republicans are dumb as shit. They're dumb as fuck. Like, imagine being pro-gun and then not being pro-responsible gun ownership. Right? Like, yes, I like guns and I like when 12-year-olds have guns. That's what these people are saying. Literally, look at the chat. Look at the chat room. Like Glenn Cole in the chat room is literally, without guns, leftist would not have, like, again, these people don't know grammar. Leftist would not have freedom of speech. Like, and, like, now that sentence is not even in English. Okay, leftist would not have freedom of speech. That's not English. It's leftists. There's an S at the end, you dumb motherfucker. Jesus Christ. These are the same people, by the way, that are saying in the chat that 12-year-olds should have guns. They don't know basic grammar. Maybe that's why they, like, are so pro-gun, because they're actually 12. They're actually 12, so it's like, the live streamer says that I shouldn't have guns. If I want to go to my middle school and pew-pew my baby, goddamn, I want to go lefties without my woo! Jesus Christ. Fucking morons. fucking morons, dude. George Washington, what about hunting? Hunting is cringe. If you hunt, you are a loser. I'm sorry, cultural, blah, blah, blah. I live in the, no, shut the fuck up, okay? This is the 21st fucking century. You don't need to be hunting anymore, motherfucker. You don't need to be eating meat. You don't need to be doing any of this fucking bullshit. I'm sorry. Okay, now if you want to hunt, I'm not going to, I don't want to enact legislation to make you not be able to hunt, okay? Whatever. If you want to hunt, you can hunt, okay? I'm not trying to say that I should restrict your freedom to do so. Me, personally, my opinion is that hunting is for fucking losers. If you hunt, you will probably have a small dick. Okay, seriously. I'm gonna go out and shoot a bunch of deer because my dick is small. Like, Jesus Christ. How much of a fucking crybaby loser do you have to be to spend your time going out and killing innocent animals? It's ridiculous, dude. It's ridiculous and it's silly. Jesus Christ. Imagine eating meat in the 21st century. I believe it is ridiculous. In most states, you have to be 12 to hunt. Therefore, 12-year-olds have guns. George Washington, if you're trying to say that hunting is the same as bringing a gun to school, wow. Wow. Like, teaching a kid to hunt is not the same as having a loaded gun on the kitchen table that a child is bringing to school. And the idea that these people think, in their fantasy world, this is what they think. Oh, I'm an intellectual titan. I just broke the brain of the leftist. I broke their brain because I hunt when I was 7, and that's why 12-year-olds should bring guns to middle school.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
Anyway, next. So, in other North Carolina news, North Carolina is becoming an outlier by banning weed. Will that soon change? So this is an article from citizen-times.com. Citizen Times with a hyphen in between. I don't know why that is, but it is. If conservative states like South Dakota and Mississippi are relaxing their marijuana policies, will politically purple North Carolina be far behind? Legalization initiatives triumphed in elections across the country this month, and those hoping North Carolina will follow suit have tempered expectations. While they see promise in a notable endorsement from the state, they know marijuana laws don't change easily in the Tar Heel state. Last week, the North Carolina Task Force for Racial Equity and the Who the fuck? Georgia? Why is someone calling me from fucking Georgia? Hold up. Hello? Okay. Hello? Are you a human? Oh my god. If you're gonna fucking crank call me, at least be a human so I can make fun of you on my fucking podcast. Jesus Christ. If you're going to spam call me, at least let me make content out of it. Now they've just ruined my segment. Unbelievable. 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 Anyway, as I was saying, last week, the North Carolina Task Force for Racial Equity and Criminal Justice recommended decriminalizing possession for up to 1.5 ounces of marijuana. The task force, created by Governor Roy Cooper, who was recently reelected, by the way, good stuff, led by the state's top law enforcer, Attorney General Josh Stein, cited data showing North Carolinians of color are disproportionately arrested for marijuana possession. Holding small amounts of weed would still be a civil offense, but charges would no longer appear on criminal records. The task force also suggested studying the effects of legalizing the drug altogether. This is not controversial, by the way. Them say, oh, we should study the effects. Maybe, dude, this isn't 2010. This is 2020. Get with the fucking times. Yet the task force doesn't have the power to reform North Carolina marijuana law. That falls to the General Assembly, which in recent years has resisted relaxing marijuana restrictions even as more states embrace legalization. A Gallup poll this month found 68% of Americans now support legalizing the drug, a rate that's steadily risen since the 1970s. Local enthusiasm for medicinal weed appears strong, as a 2017 Elon University poll showed 80% of North Carolina voters backed physicians being able to prescribe marijuana. While Democrats were more likely to support medical marijuana, the poll found 73% of Republicans favored it too. 73 fucking percent of Republicans favor marijuana? Jesus fucking Christ, motherfucker. What is going on in this country? One reason why public sentiments don't appear to align with the state policy is that North Carolina, unlike many other states, doesn't allow citizens to initiate ballot measures through petitions. In states like South Dakota and Montana, legalization policies passed by a direct popular vote, even if politicians don't have the appetite to pass them. In 2018, a group of Democrats in the General Assembly formed a cannabis caucus to promote reform bills. Easing regulations, members argue, would boost the economy through increased tourism and tax revenue, help medicinal users manage pain, and bolster racial justice. Now, last year, the General Assembly almost restricted cannabis access even further after the House passed a ban on smokable hemp because it looks similar to weed. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Republicans are dumb as shit. 73% of Republicans want to legalize, not decriminalize, not medically, they want to legalize marijuana, right? And these motherfuckers are like, should we ban hemp? I don't know, it kind of looks similar. What? Despite these structural and ideological barriers to reform, there's belief that North Carolina is as close as ever before to rethinking its marijuana laws. The task force recommendation, nationwide elections, and renewed emphasis on racial justice advocates and politicians say signal reform is coming. So, will North Carolina legalize marijuana anytime soon? I fucking hope. I hope so. I live here, right? But also, at the same time, I'm white. So let's be honest. Am I going to get arrested for marijuana? Let's be honest, right? No, I'm not. I also don't leave my house. But, this is just an issue of it being fair, okay? Like, in multiple states, I have smoked marijuana in front of police, and they have done nothing. Why? Because I'm a white person. They don't give a shit. They'll assume whatever I'm smoking isn't weed, because I'm white, okay? I'm not even joking with you. In Maryland, right, in North Carolina and South Carolina and all these states that I've been to, I have smoked weed in front of police. They have done nothing, right? So I know firsthand how these laws are enacted, right? They're enforced exclusively on whoever the cop wants to enforce them on. And since we live in a racist fucking criminal justice system, that's going to disproportionately be people of color, okay? I should not be able, right, if the law says that smoking weed is illegal, I should not be able to smoke weed in front of a police officer and they do nothing. If that's the law and order, right, that's my problem with this bullshit, is I'm personally not going to be affected by the laws changing, right? I mean, they might make my life a little easier, but at the end of the day, it's not going to, risk me going to jail. However, right, I've got people in my family that are not white, and they could risk going to jail for similar things. And that is why, as well as just the idea that, it's a literal plant. Like, are you going to ban fucking tulips? Oh, sorry, controlled substance, tulips. Sunflowers are now banned in the United States. We can no longer have sunflowers in the United... what the fuck is wrong with you people? Seriously? The anti-weed people, I'm sorry, the jig is up. Just die already, you fucking boomers. Holy shit, man. Holy fucking shit. Anyway, there you go. Hey, wannabe public speaker elder, what's poppin'? Smoke weed, troll Trump idiots. I love to smoke weed to troll Trump idiots. That's one of my favorite things. I often do that thing. I love doing that thing. It's great. Yo, you fucking people in this chat room are freak shows, man. I've got a little bit left. My show's, got some time left. I've actually made... This might be, another 30 minutes, throwing this out there. I've got, I think, 3 more things I want to talk about today, I believe. Okay, so let me... All right. Building a tolerance is not good. I could agree to that. Tolerances, sucks. Yo, give me a fucking break here. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I forgot that this fucking thing I just lit is some really powerful stuff. And oh my god, just give me a break. Just give me a second. Hold the phone. Everyone hold the phone. Hold the phone, everybody. Oh my god. Okay. I'm alive. I promise. Alright. Alright, what else am I doing? Okay, alright. In other North Carolina news, alright, so the Board of Elections certifies most North Carolina election results. Let's just read this. This is from SpectrumLocalNews.com/North Carolina/Charlotte/News/2020. You get the idea. The race for Chief Justice remains the top unresolved race after Tuesday's statewide election canvass. The North Carolina Board of Elections certified the results of the 2020 election just before noon. The move concludes all of the post-election day steps officials must take. Now, for those of you that don't know, the Chief Justice race here in North Carolina is dangerously close. Every time I look at it, right, it's like the other person is up by like 100 votes, and then they find a new, batch of ballots, and then the other person is up by 60 votes, and it's like, it's super fucking close, right? Super fucking close. So, the canvass vote did not include 5 races within the state's board's purview that still have pending challenges. By far the highest profile is the race for Chief Justice of the North Carolina Supreme Court. The North Carolina Supreme Court is a super important institution because if it gets, overwhelmingly Democrat over Republican, we can start seeing a bunch of, like, a safeguard, essentially. If the people in the assembly say, hey, we want to fuck around and destroy the lives of our citizens for, corporate profits, right? The Democrat-controlled Supreme Court could theoretically say, hey, fuck off, bitch, and then we're good. So it's like a safeguard, right? You should know how the courts work. But if you don't, there you go. 41 counties had yet to finish their recounts for this race. As of early Tuesday afternoon, Republican Paul Newby so far has maintained his lead of a little more than 400 votes over Democrat Sherry Beasley. So 400 votes right now. And this was published yesterday. So again, 400 votes, not that much, okay? Also excluded from the canvass vote were the races for House District 36, Judicial Circuit 10F, Wayne County Register of Deeds, and the Hoke County Board of Education. This list does not include a handful of county-administered races that are currently undergoing recounts. Tuesday's vote was not unanimous. Tommy Tucker, one of the 2 Republicans on the board, this is the Board of Elections, voted not to certify the results of the election because of the board's changes to the absentee ballot verification process in late September. This is kind of one of those like Trump things. Oh, well, it's fake. They're all fake. Even though Trump won North Carolina, it's still fake in these minds, right? Mail-in ballots. The mail-in ballots. At the time, board members made changes to the process that allows voters to fix problems with their absentee ballots. Tucker said any changes to election procedure are solely the domain of the state legislatures under the U.S. Constitution. He said the changes did not impact the result of the election, but could have in a truly close race. The board's 3 Democrats took issue with Tucker's comment. Stella Anderson said the board's actions have been reviewed and approved by the courts. She said that the board took the actions it did due to concerns regarding the U.S. Postal Service's ability to deliver mail-in ballots. Again, if you don't want, these safeguards to be put into place so the people's votes can be counted, how about you don't fuck up the USPS, right? An idea out there. The canvass also officially certifies Donald Trump as the winner of the presidential race. Ugh, right? Ugh. No good. No good. Ugh.
No good. Really bad for you.
Bad stuff. By law, North Carolina's electors must award Trump all 15 of the state's electoral votes when the Electoral College meets on December 14th. The move comes on the same day Pennsylvania officials officially certified Joe Biden as the winner of the presidential election there. So, there's a little local North Carolina news. North Carolina, I think, was one of the last states that were called. I think Georgia was the second to last, and then they were like, yeah, I guess Trump wins North Carolina, though the writing was on the wall. But my point here is that, again, elections, they do sometimes come down to the wire, especially in these more local races, and that's why voting is so important. assuming voting doesn't take 7 hours or you have these long voting lines, you should probably just go there and vote. You should probably take 20, 30 minutes to look up the candidates. And also, it should be easier to look up these candidates. That's another thing, and that's what we got to do. That's why I do stuff like this. If I can take a few minutes of my day to talk about North Carolina politics, someone might stumble upon this and have a slightly better, more informed view of things down the line. That's what we're here for, right? State politics, especially municipal politics, hardly ever are these covered. It's almost impossible to find information on almost everyone involved in, especially municipal politics, unless you live in a city or something. If you live in a city, it might be a little bit easier. But if you live in a small town, especially like I do, right, chances are you're not going to know jack fuck all about your local government, and finding this information is very difficult. So that's why I'm trying to lean more into doing local news sometimes, every once in a while. But yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go. Hello, Neil, blah, blah. Legalizing weed will turn many red states blue, so I'm all for legalizing weed. Absolutely. Absolutely, for sure. I try to do breaks every day except CBD. CBD is extremely good. CBD basically makes you more, it relaxes the anxiety of, some people when they say they smoke weed, they get panic attacks or whatever. That's probably because they're smoking a high THC strain and they don't have experience with that, and a low CBD strain. That's usually in my experience sometimes when I do that, which I'm a weed person, so. And also with these vape carts that are a thing now, people will say they'll try the vape cart, but the vape cart is usually just concentrated pure THC and 0 CBD. But flower typically has 1 to 2% at least of CBD. It's not that much, but you can get CBD flower that is specifically bred for its CBD content, and that can just ease out anxiety, make you. If THC or weed, makes you veg out, like you get stuck in bed on the couch, you can't move, the CBD will help you move. It basically counteracts the negative parts of the psychoactive substances. It's also good for physical pain. I don't have any chronic pain, but I know people that do, and they say marijuana helps that, for sure. But I'm just a drug addict, so I'm just saying. But CBD is legal. As long as the THC content is below 0.3%, you can purchase hemp, which is, just cannabis, that has been bred for high CBD content. Personally, I use Sunset Lake CBD when I order CBD products online. They have good prices, and I like them. They have very high quality stuff. So that's been my go-to CBD distributor, and you can order that in all 50 states, and it's entirely legal. So throwing that out there. Okay. All right, so in other news, right? Let's do this. So CNN aired this segment about food lines, food bank bread lines is essentially what they're called. And I believe this focuses on some places in New Jersey. Which is, I grew up in New Jersey. I'm familiar with some of the New Jersey situations, right? I'm not an expert, but I've been to food banks during this pandemic. I know a lot of people, almost everyone I know has been to food banks during this pandemic, and I've been to food banks before the pandemic, and you can definitely tell that people are getting less quality, more sugary foods, less healthy foods, less vegetables, more like, my food bank gives us, bread, like white bread, and it's super sugary. It's almost all sugar, the most unhealthy thing you can imagine. And that kind of stuff, like food banks, they give you what they can. Most of these places are getting strapped for food products, and at the end of the day, the cheapest is the easiest to acquire. So food banks usually just participate in the feedback loop that keeps people unhealthy. So I'm just throwing that out there. I want to top line that. When you resort to a food bank, it means you have very little options left. And in these situations where food banks are so strapped for food and they can only give you, again, white bread, for example, it's not it's just a very bad feedback loop. In the United States of America, right, it's more expensive to be healthy and it's less expensive to be unhealthy. And that's something we need to work on. So with that critique and that statement applied up front, let's watch some of this
the scene in New
video
Jersey
clip
today really speaks volumes about the reality for so many Americans right now as they continue to struggle during this pandemic. Look at these cars lined up for miles in East Rutherford, New Jersey. And what's perhaps even more astonishing here is that some willingly waiting 3, 4, 5 hours, right, just to get this food donation to feed their families. And in many cases, this is not just about a holiday meal. This is about daily survival. CNN's Bryn Gingras has been at that distribution point.
Now, I do want to say this, and I want this to be understood. For whatever reason, bootstrap Republican douchebag motherfuckers, they think that, like, oh, if you go to a food bank, it must mean that you're out of food entirely. A lot of people, when they go to food banks, they do so because they fear that they will be out of food. That is the most, that exemplifies, I would say, most people that are attending food banks. It's because maybe they've got a week's worth of regular food and they want to have a backup stash. It's something, because again, in my childhood, I've gone over a week without eating when I was a teenager. I had a lot of issues with food insecurity when I was young, and that's what introduced me to a lot of these issues and a lot of these things that makes me so passionate about them, right? So, when I was young, right, I would go weeks without eating. Like, maybe have like 1 or 2 meals a week at some point. There was this time, and it's very unhealthy, okay? It's extraordinarily unhealthy. And the very few times that I did eat, it wasn't food that was very healthy. It wasn't like I was eating a full course salad with like, nutritious fucking bullshit. I was eating stuff like white bread with almost no nutritional content, that kind of stuff, right? And that's what you have to understand. So a lot of people go to food banks because they fear that they have food insecurity, right? So that's another thing to understand. So just throwing that out there, that's why people are going like the week before Thanksgiving. They might have the ability to have like a nice Thanksgiving, but that means that they won't have that much food afterward. So these are calculations that people make. Spend $20-$30 of the money I can on Thanksgiving. We'll do a nice little celebration. We'll keep our spirits up, because morale is not even half the battle, it's most of the battle, right? If you become depressed and you have a family to feed, that's not going to help your situation, right? And I definitely do not blame anyone. So again, I'm just throwing out some context here, give you more of an understanding of why there are so many people attending food banks.
All day. And Bryn, the need there, like we're seeing in so many places across the country, is sadly far exceeding the demand.
It's true, Erica. And when you see people come in their cars and they're literally crying as they receive those meals in the trunk of their car, it just shows you how desperate people are feeling and how important these causes are. I want to show you the line of cars. What you saw earlier, you just showed your viewers, that was from this morning's distribution here at the Meadowlands YMCA. Right now, as we zoom in, you see those cars lined up. Every single car is a family, multiple families in some cases, who are waiting to get these free meals. Further down, I can see a family right now who brought a soccer ball just to keep their kids occupied because they've been waiting here for 2-3 hours just to get those meals again. And let's keep in mind, Erica, we are in a county in this country. It's one of the wealthiest counties in the entire country. And this is the need we're seeing. Davide, go down this line so you can see. I mean, it stretches. Earlier this morning, it was about 2 miles. It's a little less than that, but typically...
One thing I want to stipulate here, and I'm not sure if I'm going to play the full video clip here, but you can go click it on your own if you'd like. But one thing I want to stipulate is a lot of people are saying, oh, well, it's a wealthy county. All these people, why are they going to food banks, right, et cetera, et cetera. So you have to understand, we are in an unprecedented, and if it ever has been precedented, you could say it was the last time these situations have ever occurred, right? We're like over 100 years ago when our entire mode of living was entirely different. So shut the fuck up with that shit, okay? So this is an unprecedented pandemic depression combination, okay? There's a lot of people that started off the year 2020, right, in a perfect spot, right? They just got a promotion, right? Their careers were going wonderfully. Everything was great. Maybe they just got a new house, right? Things were going great. And then the pandemic hit, the depression hit. And a lot of these people fall through the cracks. A lot of these people's jobs are never coming back, right? So when you go from making, right, 80 to, like, let's say $120,000 a year, something like that, very comfortable, and you're, that kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden you have no job, because even at that range, there's still no job security for a lot of people. So you have no job all of a sudden, right? So yeah, that's why people have, oh, you have a TV, but you can't feed your family? Well, maybe I guess you could make the argument that they could sell the TV, but sell it to who? Who's buying the TV? Who's going to buy this television during a pandemic depression where 40% of people can't even pay the rent, right? So that whole theory of just, bootstrapping your way through it, it's ridiculous garbage, okay? It's ridiculous fucking garbage. People have been bootstrapping their way through their entire lives, right? And now because this government failed to protect the people from a virus, these people are losing everything that they've ever had, okay? And it's ridiculous, it's disgusting, and it's awful. And this country needs to be fucking, like, the government needs to be just, it needs to be, like, completely overhauled, right? And Biden is not going to do that. Biden's not going to come in and say, all right, we're going to do what we really need to do. That's not happening. Our one chance was Bernie fucking Sanders. And even then, that was kind of a far-fetched shot. I'm not even sure if Bernie Sanders' agenda could even get like a quarter of the way through, even with the context that we have right now. But Biden's not even going to fucking try to bring us out of this crisis, okay? These problems are not going away. They're going to be here for a long time, and we need to fucking learn how to help people, right? We need to start mass producing unhealthy food. We need to stop subsidizing high fructose corn syrup. We need to start subsidizing healthier foods. We need to start subsidizing food banks. We need to start subsidizing more programs like food stamps. We need to start helping more people with the things that they need and stop helping people get the things that they don't need. If the only thing you can purchase to eat every night is a white bread sandwich, you're not going to be a very healthy person. Your immune system is not going to be at top functional capacity. You're probably going to get sick. You're probably going to, make someone else's life, a little bit worse because, you lost your job because you got sick, so now they have to take on more responsibilities. Oh, hey, you're on a bus from home, to work, and then you got someone else sick and they lost their job. Like that kind of situation. Public health is for the good of everybody, and public health includes diet, it includes nutrition, it includes having access to food. Dumbass motherfucking Republicans, I swear to God, and the Democrats too. This is disgusting. Anybody that has helped in any capacity to facilitate this occurring in the United States of America should be held on trial, and they should be held up for crimes against humanity. This is the richest country in the entire motherfucking world, okay? In the history of the world, this is the most rich fucking country, and we are starving our poor. You should judge a country by how it treats its most vulnerable people. All right? And how we treat our most vulnerable people is with disregard, right? My mom taught me if I ever saw a homeless person on the street that I shouldn't even look at them. Don't pay them any attention because then they might talk to you. That's what I was taught. And I was a poor fucking motherfucker when I was a kid. So even my poor family, right, they taught me these people that are even poorer than us, we still can't help them. We have to look down on them. Why? Because that's ingrained into our brains. That's the American way. That's how this country was built. Because this country is built on poisoning its citizens, both in mind and in body, right? And they have like a really good, is it symbiotic? I don't know. There you go. That's the end. Anyway. Fucking hate that shit, dude. Shit sucks. Anyway, let's read the chat room. Hello, Kawaii-chan. Hello, Taya Rone. Thank you very much, by the way. People coming for food in their cars would be ridiculous in my country. In my country, if you own a car, you automatically means you can't afford. Bodan, please. I'm hoping that you listen to what I was just saying. Like, I'm scrolling up here, so... Like, I'm hoping that you were listening to what I was saying and that you don't still believe that. But if you still believe that shit, then Jesus fucking Christ, dude, come on. Again, we are in an unprecedented global pandemic depression. Like, there are people that have cars. Yeah, I know, they have cars. Right? And then, they lost their job. When you go from $100,000 a year to $0, it doesn't hit as hard as going from $50,000 a year to $0, but it still hits pretty fucking hard. And you have to meet people where they are. Hello, Bob. There are no buses in my town. I live in bumfuck North Carolina currently, right? There are 0 buses in my entire town. I'm not even joking. Like, the only buses that are in my town is, I think, a cross-country, Greyhound thing. Like, there are no buses in my town. So if I didn't have a car in my family, the nearest grocery store, you want to know how long of a walk the nearest grocery store is? About 2 miles to there. So it'd be about a 3.5 to 4 mile walk. Maybe 4.5 if you count walking in the grocery store itself. Mile walk if I didn't have a car in my town with no public transportation. So you gotta, come on. You can't judge poor people. You just can't. Now, if those poor people go out there and say that other poor people should be spit on, yeah, fuck them. Right? But if someone loses their job, have empathy. Yeah, unknown story. You have to walk there and carry. What I used to do, was I had a backpack on. When I lived in Maryland, I also lived in a situation where the closest grocery store is about a 2-mile walk. So, and I was only feeding myself. Right? So I didn't have to worry about kids or anyone else. I was only doing it for personal consumption. But I mean, if I'm going to carry a backpack down back to my house in 30-degree centigrade weather, right? I'm not going to be able to carry that much. I'm going to only be able to carry maybe a couple days worth of food, and that's if I'm feeding only myself. You know what I'm saying? So if you're feeding a family and you have to do this, you might have to do this every single day, or you might have to fit this into your busy work schedule, that kind of situation. Food deserts are a serious problem. I'm still employed making $30K as an essential worker. I was talking a lot about the essential worker bullshit yesterday. If you're a new viewer, Taya, you can go back and watch yesterday's episode. The distinction of these essential workers. If they're so essential, then how come we're not protecting our essential workers? They're essential. So why are we treating them like shit on our shoes? It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. You can't call someone an essential worker and then not give their family health insurance. I'm sorry, it's not possible. I have made that 2 to 3 mile walk before with groceries. Tip, bring your kids with you to help. I mean, but that's a problem. If I were a kid, I wouldn't want to subject a kid to walking in blistering heat for 2 miles with fucking I don't know, 15 pounds of fucking groceries. If you need milk, fuck it. Milk? That alone, I can barely carry a gallon of milk by itself. I mean, I'm a weak motherfucker. I'm working on it, but bear with me here. I'm just saying, it's ridiculous stuff. Anyway, so this show's about over. So I appreciate you for viewing. I would like to reorient this by doing what I started off with. The first installation, the first act, if you will, the first Operation Grift has begun. I've been talking about this for a couple days or a week, I don't know, that I want to increase the production quality of my broadcast. I want to use not a $50 headset mic, but maybe, a better microphone, right? That kind of situation. So I want to make the stream quality significantly better, the production quality significantly better. And I've done some research, and it seems, $400 is going to put me in a very comfortable position to get whatever I need. So you can go to speed.dog/backontop if you would like to go to this page. I will update this page with every item that I purchase and the amount that I purchased it for full transparency. Now, what I was thinking was I'm going to do this fundraiser. Now, we need to get someone to frame me for grifting. Now, again, it's called Operation Grift, but let's be honest, right? If someone can say that, I'm fundraising and then I spent the money on marijuana, which is, let's be honest, that's totally believable, right? In fact, I've probably already done it, right? So, if someone can say that and then that gets traction on Twitter, there's no such thing as bad publicity. All publicity is good publicity, right? Imagine, because then I get to make a video debunking, right, that claim that I'm a grifter with my full transparency. I got receipts, motherfucker. Look, I'll just get a receipt from CVS and I'll pretend like it's my receipt and I'll just like have the miles of receipts, right? That's what I'm going to do. So this is the strategy, right? This is what we're going to do. Operation Grift has begun, and the first part is where you give me money, right? That's the first part. And then once I have that money, well, then I guess the rest doesn't really matter. But if you want to see an increased production value, now I will say also, thank you for the $2 super chat, JL. However, I'm so sorry. I should have maybe, but super chats, I don't get super chats for 2 months. Like, the $2 you just gave to me, I will not get until like January. Throwing that out there. Like, if we want this to be as soon as possible, I would prefer, if you would like to give me funds, to do it on PayPal. That way I have access to the money instantly, instead of having to wait 2 months. Now, again, I appreciate the super chats, and I do appreciate, like, they're good stuff. The super chats help me kind of like base how much money I'm going to need for, or whatever, for food, utilities, that kind of stuff, right? So, if you can do both, there you go. There you go. But for this, I would prefer it on PayPal. That way, again, if I get enough money, I could potentially buy a microphone on Cyber Monday or Black Friday, like, theoretically, right? And then I could get like a huge discount, so just throwing that out there instead of having to wait until January. And Patreon is on, I think it's on the 5th of every month I get paid from Patreon. So, I mean, that's, I don't know. Some people can't do PayPal. The next best thing would be, well, also, if you have Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, I accept all cryptocurrencies. If it's on Binance, you can give it to me. I'll accept it. So, by the way, Bitcoin, what's Bitcoin at right now? Bitcoin is fucking Jesus. Look at Bitcoin. It's going a little bit down right now, but it was at 19.5 thousand. That's incredible. That's right next to its all-time high. Like, if you were to look, let's do a 1 week chart. Let's do a 1 month chart on Bitcoin. All right, this was 3 years ago. 19,798, the all-time high of Bitcoin. We're bringing it back, dude. Like, look at this. It's happening. So, that's my thing. I don't do stocks. I do Bitcoin because I'm cool and I like to buy interesting things online. What's the PayPal to send to? I just posted it. It is paypal.me/Andrea the doggy. That is my PayPal URL. Hit me up. It's also, right, yes, it's right here. Those are the crucial links. There you go. Exclusive Grand Theft Auto 3 videos on, that is true. Hello, Mr. Freaklitcher. There are, in fact, exclusive videos that you can watch. Maybe I'll unexclusive them. I don't know. But one of the other things I'm going to do for this fundraiser thing is, if I do hit the full amount, as an appreciation, I will officially upgrade Above It All from a 1 hour show to a 2 hour show. Now today, sometimes I do a 2 hour show anyway, right? But I will do more content, so I will improve the production quality. And then I'll also do more content. So that's kind of like it, you get both. Dr. Devilish, calling everyone a fascism comes from the Stalin's paranoid conspiracy theories. Calling everyone a fascism? Interesting. But okay. All right. I don't know what that has to do with this discussion. There you go. One term impeached lost popular vote. Love it. Love it. Anyway, I don't want to dox anyone, but I just noticed some people have given me money. I don't want to dox anyone, so let me know who you are if you want to have me thank you with my voice. But if you don't, if that's not necessary, then I appreciate it if you're fine being anonymous, unless you're fine being doxed. I mean, But I don't know who you are. You'd have to let me know who you are to verify that I'm like, I don't want to, You know what's going on here. You know what's going on here. So, okay. Anyway, this is pretty much the show for today. And thank you for watching. I appreciate you. You are all wonderful people. Wonderful, tremendous people. And I will see you again tomorrow morning. Thank you.
It's not that they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear words. Make sure the kids hear words. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on it. Play the radio. Make sure play the radio. It's not that they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Have the record player on at night.
And where it should have stopped is at the deal stand when they thought about it. Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.
Look, talk about education. I propose that what we take is those very poor schools, the Title I schools, triple the amount of money we spend from 15 to 45. Crazy. The teachers are I'm married to a teacher. My deceased wife is a teacher. Does in fact have 3, 4, and 5 to help them deal with how to raise their children. Help? They don't know quite what to do to help them deal with how to raise their children. The phone. Make sure the kids hear words.
And he's like this, and we will. I need water, help me, I need water, help. And he's like, this is on live television. Water. And he's like this, and we will, I need water, help me, I need water.
The truth of the matter is that when you look at some of my policies, in a lot of ways, Richard Nixon was more liberal than I was.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, but it says, fool me once, shame on you. If you fool me, you can't get fooled again.
Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? No.
I'm about to be 34 and I have no family. Because my dad had 2 kids by the time he was 27.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, you know what the problem is though? It's definitely not me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's everybody else.
So stupid. Thank you.
They had a very bad original concept. Somebody really messed up. It was carried out poorly. One of the worst in the history of cover-ups. Cover-up ever. At the deal stand when somebody really messed up and they had the worst cover-up ever. As far as my relationships with all people, I think I have great relationships with all people. I am the least racist person in this room.
Right.
Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting, pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon.